Hampshire reminds me to be critical of everything I learn and to not just take what the law is in face value. Instead, it questions me to ask what the law ought to be, and then questions me to ask, how do we make the law what it ought to be? Hi, my name is Marlon Beccera. I use he, him pronouns, and I was a part of class of 2015. One of my friends from middle school emailed me a picture of our yearbook, and it was like, where would you see yourself in 10 years? And I said, in 10 years, I'll be starting Harvard Law School. And that was exactly like the time I got into Harvard Law School. So it's actually kind of crazy. I always knew I wanted to be a lawyer at a very young age. I think for me, it was, experiencing firsthand some of the injustices I want to tackle. It was being homeless at one point. It was being over-policed by the NYPD. It was being poor and having all those difficulties. It was being first gen. So for me, the issues I wanted to face had a very, personal and communal aspect to them. At Hampshire, I studied essentially poli-sci and econ, specifically looking at revolutionary and subaltern movements and how they were engaging with political and economic forces and decision making. In the spring semester of my first year at Harvard Law School, the pandemic hit, so I decided to take a leave of absence. In my leave of absence, I worked for Legal Outreach as their Director of Civic Engagement. In that role, I was able to help create their newest program called the Social Justice and Civic Engagement Council, in which we take a subset of their high school students and train them to be the change makers of tomorrow. I designed it with many of the Hampshire values in mind. I wanted students to have all the control in choosing what campaigns they work on. I got to also work at the Innocence Project. And the Innocence Project's main goal is to help exonerate the wrongfully convicted, especially those on death row. Now I'm back in Harvard Law School in my second year. Yeah, it's been a lot of work, but it's been interesting work. Honestly, doing this work kind of reminds me of being a Hampshire student. It's the type of work I want to engage with.